What's good? This is Trey with Legit Gang coming to you with this video on how to overcome the fear of rejection. Now, specifically, I want to talk about the fear of rejection when it comes to picking up women. So when it comes to picking up women, one of the main reasons why most guys do not approach women or talk to women that they find attractive is because of the fear of rejection. Most guys have no problem talking to a girl who they do not find attractive, or a girl that they, have no interest in whatsoever. But when it comes to that girl that they actually like, that's a whole different story, and it's because of the fear of rejection. They don't want to put effort into showing the girl that they have interest and then find out that that girl is not interested. This is good. Basically, it's not a good feeling knowing that the thing that you want doesn't want you back, or sorry, the girl that you want doesn't want you back, basically. Okay. But the thing is, that's part of life. So we have to figure out, okay, the fear of rejection is real. It's not going anywhere. So how do we deal with this? How do we overcome this? If you want to meet beautiful women, you want to date beautiful women, you have to be, willing to approach them, and you have to be able to overcome the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection, I'll tell you right now, I've approached lots of women, probably over 1,000. I've probably done over 1,000 approaches in my lifetime, or at least somewhere around there. And I'll tell you right now, the fear of rejection doesn't go away. But what does happen is the more you approach women, the more you talk to women, the more experiences you get, the fear of rejection gets reduced. Okay, so it's not as crippling. It doesn't have as strong, as much power over you, because you've experienced it a lot of times, and it's not as big of a deal, but it's still there. So when I go out, I still have that fear of rejection. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll see girls that I find attractive. I walk right past them because I'm not really in the mood to experience possible rejection, right? Because rejection, it can bring down your mood. It can kind of piss you off a little bit, whatever. But the reality is, it's all in your head. Okay. When you actually go and approach the women and get rejected, it's not that serious. Now, if you've never been rejected before, meaning you've never approached a woman before, and you go and get rejected, it's probably going to sting, right? But if you do it more than once, approach 3 women in a row. So this is what I do. When I go out, I know that the fear of rejection is going to try and prevent me from my goal, which is meeting women, right? Picking up women. So what I do is I tackle that fear head on. Okay. Because if you tackle that fear, you can crush it, and then you can take control, right? But if you do not attack that fear, it's going to control you. So what I do when I go out, I focus on approaching 3 women that I find attractive, but I don't focus on picking them up. That's too much pressure, especially when you're experiencing fear. You want to overcome the fear first and then focus on picking up. So instead of, I got to pick up this girl. No, I focus on, okay, I need to do 3 approaches. I need to approach 3 women consecutively. And after those 3 approaches, I will be in a much better state of mind, a much healthier state of mind that will allow me to communicate my value a lot better in these interactions. My game will be sharper. I'll be able to think clearer because I'm not in my head. I'm not trying to avoid rejection, right? So you do those 3 approaches, no matter how you feel, no matter what goes through your head, what excuse pops in your head, approach 3 women consecutively. And I promise you, after those 3 approaches, no matter what happens, whether she rejects you or she likes you or whatever it is, after doing those 3 approaches, you will feel a lot better. The fear of rejection won't have it won't be in control. Okay. You will be in control. You might still feel it a little bit, but you'll be able to approach more women. You'll be able to be more yourself more. You'll be able to be more charismatic. But if you don't tackle the fear of rejection, it's going to control you. So what happens with most guys is they'll go out like to a club or something, and they will experience that fear of rejection. And instead of tackling it, they just let it linger. And then the end of the night comes and they haven't talked to any women, right? They haven't really approached anyone, pretty much just, stood around and probably drank a little bit or whatever, but didn't really do too much of anything. And it's because of that fear of rejection. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if you want to overcome it, make it your goal when you go out, if your goal is to pick up women or meet women, talk to 3 women that you find attractive and don't put any goal or attachment to an outcome on it. Just do it. Detach yourself from the outcome. Just, okay, I'm going to talk to 3 women and the goal is not to pick them up. I'm just talking to them like a regular human being. That's it. And you're going to experience the fear. You're going to be afraid. You're going to be like, damn, am I really about to do this? But if you talk to those 3 women consecutively, you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to be in a good headspace. And from there, all the approaches after those 3 are going to go well. Okay. They're going to go well in the sense that you're not going to be experiencing any crippling fear that has you basically acting like a very weak version of yourself, because that's what fear does. You can be the most the most charismatic, coolest guy in the world, have an amazing life and great stories to tell, but if you're experiencing fear, you're not going to be able to communicate properly. The girl's going to be uncomfortable and the interaction is going to go bad. So you have to handle the fear. All right, so I just gave you the advice on what I do. If I'm experiencing the fear of rejection, I tackle it head on. I go and talk to 3 women. Sometimes I actually make it my goal to get rejected. I'll literally go up to the woman and say something ridiculous. Like I'll say, hey, do you want to buy me a drink? Or I'll say, hey, do you want to give me a piggyback ride? Or some stupid question that the girl is probably going to reject. And what it does is it basically tells my brain that, hey, I'm not afraid of rejection. Okay. Now you don't have to go and literally say something ridiculous like that. You can just go and have a conversation. And just the fact that you are, because basically the fear of rejection is basically, its goal is to prevent you from doing anything. But if you actually feel that fear and do something, meaning you still go and talk to the woman, you're going to basically tell that fear, look, I'm in control and you're not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. And that fear will go away. Okay. So 3 approaches, not 1, not 2, do 3. Okay. The more, the better, obviously, but make sure you do 3 and don't put any attachment to the outcome. Then after you do those 3, then you start actually, going for, the result. So you actually run your real game after those 3. But those first 3, basically those are just like some bullshit approaches where you're not trying to, bring out your best game or any of that. You just want to get out of that state of mind where you're crippled by fear. Because if you're crippled by fear, you're not going to be able to approach. All right. So I hope that makes sense. That's the advice if you want to overcome the fear of rejection and start picking up women successfully. For more tips and advice on how to pick up women and attract beautiful women in your life, go to legitgame.com. Thanks for watching. Peace.